Expectation. Yonghyo Ryu August 2012 plmis.tstory.com. Starting the morning with a cup of coffee and listening to music gives you hypnosis and the pleasure of drinking at the same time. Monday morning after the weekend, my steps are always heavy. Wouldn't it be one of the pleasures that you can't take out of the time to say good morning with your colleagues and talk about what fun you had over the weekend? I think there are 4 conditions to love what I do. Financial aspects, relationships with coworkers, and what I'm doing now. And all of this is influenced by expectations. I would have been on summer vacation by this time, so I would like to talk about my expectations. Set expectations. Setting expectations, not expectations. As for those expectations, I think that only when consideration and trust are expressed can I truly recognize the value of my work and love what I do. I give her wife a wake-up call every morning. I did well for several years, but when I came back after exercising one Saturday morning last year, I woke up because I hadn't woken up yet, and it was a school day. Of course, it's unfair from my point of view, but from my wife's point of view, it's too proud. Actually, I wouldn't do that, but I can't help it because I have a lot of sleep in the morning. On the other hand, even if I go on a business trip abroad, I make a wake-up call every morning if possible, but there are 4 years left until my son graduates from high school. Wouldn't the morning be free after that? Expectations can be related to my philosophy of life in a different way. And what are the factors that have a big impact on those expectations? Coworker? My work? The monetary aspect? As Dr. Hung Sik Cho said, most of the pain in youth is due to pride. Most of the pain in middle age is due to money. The pain in old age is due to resentment towards the past. The standards for expectations are different. Pride, money, past anger, performance. Although it may be different for each person, most office workers feel the importance of a sense of fellowship when they first start social life, and the word together, carries the weight of expectations. Then, by the time I am armed with pride in my work, I see the financial side. Depending on the ratio in which these 3 things are gathered and mixed, my expectations, that is, my philosophy of life, will be engendered. People who go to the company because they like coworkers more than money and work, people who are more satisfied with their work than money and coworkers, people who go to work because of money rather than work and coworkers. The golden ratio that creates the best expectations is 3:3. Colleagues less than my work. Which one are you? In addition to 3 of the factors that determine set expectations, several external factors can influence it. Bucket list, valuables, tough things, self-service, etc. Due to these external factors, the essence is often blurred and the judgment that has been made is often distressed. It was only after a long time that I realized that setting my expectations is more important than anything else in order to control external factors well. Seniors at the time said so. Since there are these things, he gives a lot of advice to reduce trial and error, but it was not easy to readily accept and understand the meaning. It's only after time passes, At that time, the gem-like words of seniors resonate in my ears. I'll be fine then. To do so, let's learn more about external factors that can help or hinder my expectations. Hard stuff. A king invited a great scholar to his palace. The king asked the scholar, "How do you live a good life?" A great scholar answered, "Do not do bad things, only do good things." The king smiled and said, "No, isn't that an easy thing to know?" Then the great scholar laughed and said, "A 3-year-old child knows it, but even an 80-year-old old man can't actually keep it." There is a saying by Confucius, "If you don't think, you're foolish. If you think, but don't learn, it's dangerous." Self-service. The fact that I have to do everything related to myself. I feel grateful once again to my colleagues who have helped me and shared joy and sorrow beside me. Some people say it's too desolate, and of course there are people who say it is. That's right. It's desolate. However, once you get used to it, you will feel at ease. At some point, I think we all have been complacent in comfort. I think our corporate culture is also slowly adapting to global standards. I really need to think about what I can do and what I can do myself. This is because everything changes when the situation changes. To feel less embarrassed, if you don't create your own environment where you can do a lot of things on your own and be considerate of your colleagues who live with you first, you will need a lot of time to adapt when the situation changes. Do. From the movie Bucket List. When Carter and Edward went to Egypt, Carter told them that the ancient Egyptians believed that God would ask these two questions when the soul went to heaven, and depending on the answers, whether or not to go to heaven was determined, and he asked Edward the same question. Have you found joy in life? Has your life made other people happy? However, Edward is not ready to answer, and Carter hesitates to answer Edward's same question. Like this, two elderly people who are at the end of their lives are dealing with the story of the journey of looking back on their lives and finding joy in life. Barek's story. The War of Invasion of Joseon by Japan, which began in 1592 in the year of Imjin, was a pottery war, especially a tea bowl war. The first war booty sent to Japan by the Japanese army, which secured a bridgehead in Joseon, was pottery vessels from Gimhai Hyangyo. At that time, Hideyoshi Toyotomi and Ieyasu Tokugawa, who came to power after him, who were delighted with the spoils of war, hit the Joseon bowl known as Ito Chawin as the best tea tool. Among them, Yanagi Munyoshi, Yu Jong-yeol, 1889–1961, a leading Japanese folk craft researcher who showed a special understanding and attachment to Joseon arts and crafts, who first saw the pottery, Gijuemon Ito, which became a national treasure of Japan, said, "It is a very ordinary thing. This is a Joseon rice bowl. It is also a bowl of rice used by the poor as an ordinary occasion. It's a very ugly thing. Typical catch. It is the cheapest common thing. Personality is nothing to be proud of. The pinnacle of mediocrity. Nothing is as commonplace as this." This is undoubtedly the identity of the world's famous article, The Great Reputation. Bark bowl equals PLM, personal life cycle, product life cycle. But the real value of barracks is that no two are alike. The feature of the bar is that the glaze is applied only on the outside and not on the inside. In Japan, if you drink tea that is good for this kind of rice bowl, the color and fragrance of the tea permeates into the bowl, turning the bowl into a subtle fragrance and unique color. This appearance is considered a national treasure by the Japanese. Japanese values and expectations. In addition, the long-term know-how of Joseon potters permeated into excellent pottery. It is believed that PLM products have the same basic functions, but are reborn as a system like a bowl of rice bowl by applying PLM while respecting each customer's unique process and this process. Closing remarks. When you drink a good tea, expected value, like a rice bowl, the color and scent of the tea, colleagues, my work, money, and external factors, permeates into the bowl, and the bowl changes into a subtle scent and unique color. Wouldn't there be a barracks of? Wouldn't it be nice to make such a bowl with your family during the summer vacation that comes every year? To fight oneself is the hardest fight, and to win oneself is the most wonderful victory. Rogao. End.